We know of Jacob's daughter, Dinah, Amram's daughter, Miriam, and all 5 of Zelophehad's daughters. We know Lot had 2 daughters, but the Torah names them as the older one and the younger one. Like Abraham's Midrashic daughter, they too go unnamed. Same is true with many of the wives of our biblical heroes. The joke around our weekly Torah study table when someone asks, did she have a name, is to answer, yes, it was Eshet. Eshet means wife of. Most biblical women don't get a name and are probably known only as their husband's property. And yet the Torah tells us over and over again to speak out for the widow, the stranger, and the orphan. These are the people who have no voice, who need others to stand up for them. So why is it that half of the biblical world has no voice? Thankfully, for the last few generations, we have begun to give women an equal voice in our society. We have farther to go, but we're getting there. Our society has spent the last few hundred years changing into a world where men and women have equal voices. From what is sometimes called the proto-feminist movement as early as the 15th century, to Florence Nightingale and her struggle with career equality, to Elizabeth Cady Stanton and her works on women and their role in religion, the 19th Amendment in 1919, to the millions of women working toward equality in the 20th and 21st centuries. In 1972, Sally Priesand became the first woman rabbi ordained by Hebrew Union College. And by the time I became a rabbi, the women outnumbered the men 3-2. And we're still constantly trying to bring women's voices to the table. Workplace equality and reproductive rights are battles currently being waged on a daily basis because so many men would simply prefer that women remain unnamed non-participants in the public arena. We're changing, and the road has been long, but we can see the day when voices that were previously silent will be heard. Not just women. All colors, races, religions, sexualities, abilities, classes, tastes, and styles will be treated with respect and dignity. We will all be able to be heard because we're pushing for such change. We push because our tradition tells us to. Speak out for the orphan and the stranger, the widow and the poor. Love your neighbor as yourself. Do not put a stumbling block before the blind, nor insult the deaf. Since it began, Judaism has spoken out for the silent, and as we advance, we open ourselves up to more and more voices that were silent for too long. Change gives voice to those who were previously unheard. Real change is neither fast nor easy. We're going through a lot of changes this year in our congregation. Some of them are physical. We have a new roof. It's dry up here so far. It's a... You dry? It's a very positive change, even if we all have to chip in to make it happen. Have you noticed the programs we're offering in the lobby? Some of them are new versions of old favorites. Mitzvah Day is around the corner, Sunday, October 21st. Yes, Dolphins fans, it's a bye weekend. And we're going for a family-friendly atmosphere where children and parents will be able to work together to do good around our community. Our teens are going on their 5th annual Tikkun Olam trip to New Orleans. And this year we're inviting 2 other Miami congregations to join us. In the winter, for the first time, your rabbis will battle it out Iron Chef style. I'm excited for that one. There are all sorts of changes happening at Temple Sinai. Check out the bounty of flyers in the lobby to see what interests you, or to see what might interest a friend of yours. Of course, these activities make our community stronger when we all join in them together. Lasting change can be like physical therapy. It can be pretty rigorous. There are stretching and strengthening exercises, small weights and elastic bands, electrodes to attach to muscles, and hours spent at physical therapy clinics. If done right, the body can heal and transform into a better version than it was previously. It hurts. And it is difficult, but it makes everything afterward so much better. Change can be painful, but if it is done right, it can only make us stronger. Just this morning, I was listening to a story on NPR about high school students in urban Chicago who are relearning how to learn. Author Paul Tough suggests that it's not about test scores and IQ, but about how young people build character. He has mentored and intervened with young people who have not been nurtured as young children. Of course, their performance in school suffered, probably because of abuse suffered at the hands of their parents. So he selects a group of inner-city kids and counsels them instead of tutoring them. He focuses on what he calls non-cognitive skills, character strengths like tenacity, resilience, impulse control. Tough claims these are at least as important, or even more important, to a child's success as test scores. Today, many of these kids are successfully building towards college diplomas. Among his group of high school freshmen, 85% go on to graduate college, compared to the average in their neighborhoods of 6%. That's a huge change. And there is no way that was easy on those kids. But they are certainly better off for the change they put into themselves. Most important changes are these such changes. The changes right in front of us. What do you want to change about yourself? We all have flaws that we want to make better. We all have changes we want to make in ourselves. How can we help you become the very best version of yourself? Come in during the week and sit with your clergy for a little bit. Talk to us when we can really give you the attention you deserve. We just might even be able to help. Let's use 5773 to change for the better together. This is the time of year when we take stock in our lives and make the changes we most need. Like the stories of our sacred tradition, we can be jarred when something within us changes. But change brings us into today, allows us to face the future with strength and with a voice that we might not even know is within us. May we all work hard for the changes we desire for ourselves and our community, this year and always. Shana Tova.